You guys enjoying the weekend? All right, excellent. Well, it's just going to get better because now we're going to do our Q&A with Kirby Morrow. Let's give him a round of applause, everyone. Yeah, that's that.
That is hello in Goku words. Hello. Hey guys, how y'all doing? Good. I'm on the elevated stage now, so I can actually sit down. Wow, you look super. That's awesome. Nice. Glad you guys could all come out. This is awesome. You guys having fun? Okay, count of three. What's the best thing here? 1, 2, 3. The answer was me. Yes, that was right. Yes, yeah. Yes, a well-trained audience. I'm gonna make it rain money here soon. So it's really cool you guys all came here. This is my first time in Halifax, and I'm having a great time. I've seen a lot of the bars. They're very fun. They have alcohol.
Well, actually, I mean, Halifax has a lot. You've only seen like a small percentage.
Well, I will do my job to see as much as I can.
All right, excellent. Stimulating the economy.
Shall we sit? Can you still see me if I'm sitting? Yes? Awesome.
So how this Q&A is going to work is we have our mics on left and right there, and then if you have a question, stand up, approach the mics, and we'll do them, and you'll answer them one at a time. You can answer them in words, song, miming if you want. That part's really up to you.
Actually, I'll just give you the little wink. All right, yeah, so if anybody has a question, emote loudly or go to the microphones, and we'll talk for a little while.
Microphone's right up there if you want.
Okay, great. Good night. Thanks.
That one right there.
Cool.
How did you get started voice acting?
Good question. I first started off, I was going to go to law school. I'm going to sit up here a little bit. I was going to go to law school, and I was going to go to the University of Calgary. And it's funny, it's been a long time since I've done this in Canada, so I don't have to explain to people what a Calgary is, and you'll know these things. This is great. So Calgary, Alberta, and I went to the local college looking on their bulletin boards for places to live when I was going to move to the city, and I passed by the theater department, and I thought, oh wow, I've always wanted to try acting because I went to a very small high school and there was no theater department or drama or anything like that. So I went in and asked a bunch of questions, and I got put on a list, and they thought I wanted to apply for the program. And I went back to Jasper where I was living, and they called me a month later and said, here's your audition time for the program. And I said, what are you talking about? I'm going to go to the university and I'm going to become a lawyer. And they're like, well, you have an audition time. Do you want it or not? And I thought, it's a sign. So I went and I auditioned and I got into the program. And I said to my parents, you know what, I'm going to put this whole law thing on hold for a minute and pursue being an actor. And my mom said, are you sure? And my dad said, are you gay? I said, well, no. But, and I was doing stand-up comedy. I started doing stand-up comedy at that time, actually, when I got into the program around 92. And I toured a little bit of BC and Alberta with a guy who was an impressionist. And he was terrible doing impressions, but people loved him. Like, he'd go on stage and he'd do, a really bad Arnold Schwarzenegger and stuff. And I was like, wow, you don't have to be awesome at something for people to enjoy seeing you do it. So I kind of got the idea to try doing voices a little bit then, and I would throw some into my comedy act. And when I graduated from theater school, I knew that it was to be the best actor that you can be, it's important to pursue as many avenues of revenue within your field. So try to work as much as you can as an actor rather than having to go wait tables and also try and wait for work as an actor. And I knew there was this whole world of voiceovers, this world of animation and commercial voiceovers that existed. So I thought, I'm gonna really try hard to get good at that. And I got the right agent who started getting me the right auditions. You make demo reels and you send them out and you get, you start getting auditions, you start booking roles. And my first one was Michelangelo from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, dude. Whoa! That was a lot of fun until a lawsuit, not by me. The puppeteers sued the production company and they shut down the production after 1 year. And then I did Gundam Wing, was my first anime. And then Dragon Ball Z. Cool. So that's kind of how I got into voice acting. Cool.
We have a question right here.
Hi.
Hi.
Kind of a weird question, but
Once, but I was young and I needed the money.
okay.
Don't you judge me!
Thank you very much. So I don't know if you're aware at all, but just recently in the U.S. with a lot of voice actor work for animation, computer games and such, they've actually somewhat approved a strike, if possible, about possible residuals that actors aren't getting, as well as just general work for, like, I can only spend 5 hours out of 4 sessions screaming, where people didn't necessarily sort of think of that a lot. And I was just wondering if you had any opinions on that, like if they're justified, or because a lot of people are saying that it's
So they were
not.
saying they've been able to minimize the amount of hours where you have to go in a room and scream.
And yeah, and just sort of general description of what actors will be doing, as opposed to just saying, "Can you come in and do this general thing?"
Yeah, I mean
And
that's
more
why
specific-
that's why we're in unions.
Yeah.
That's our union fights for us to be treated fairly and to be paid properly. And sometimes when I did Dragon Ball, there were sometimes they would book me for 6-hour sessions, and I would leave talking like this because I was just, they go, "You have a 22-second yell, and we need it in one breath," and you're like, "Yeah!" And go, and they're like, "Ooh, that was 21. You were so close." And you see spots, you're like, going down. So, then I would say to my agent, I'm like, I can't do 6-hour sessions of Dragon Ball Z. It's like, it really was the most difficult anime I've ever done. So, they would cut it down to 3 or 4 hour sessions, which was, and split them up into different days. And, they want to stick you into the studio for longer hours because then they don't have to pay 2 studio session fees. And so they might be saving a little bit of money, but they're kind of destroying their actors. And there has to be a medium or an entity like the unions and agents and stuff that make sure the actors don't get completely thrashed. So,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
There's a question right over here.
Hello.
Hello.
I actually had 2 questions. One was, what's your favorite type? I mean, you've done Morrow, you've done Michelangelo. What's your favorite kind of character to play?
All the ones with M: Moroku, Mikami, Michelangelo, Moku.
Mannequin Mywalker.
Yeah, Marby and the Muttcracker. So my favorite types of character to play? I love anime. I love the fame it has and like how much people love it. But you have to work by yourself in the booth, which is okay. You got the engineers there, so you're not all alone. But when you do prelay type shows or shows like Ninja Turtles or Ninjago, where I played 14-year-old Cole in Ninjago, or I was doing Lego Star Wars, playing Anakin Skywalker and General Grievous. I'm in the room with all the other actors, and it's so much more fun to play off of the other actors and feed off their energy, and we joke around a lot and we have fun, and it's not as lonely. And what was your second question?
My second question was actually kind of tied to that one over there, because Dragon Ball Z is my childhood, basically. And the screaming, my God, how do you survive the screaming?
Are we
the
talking about my
freezes-
childhood now? How do I survive? Okay, I got a funny joke for you. You got to think about it. You guys know the Rorschach tests, Rorschach ink blot tests. Mm-hmm. Who the hell is this guy Rorschach, and why does he keep painting pictures of my parents fighting? It's a thinker. All right. Okay. So yeah, the screaming it was difficult, but you got to take care of yourself. A lot of whiskey and cigarettes. No, those are the bad things. Yeah, a lot of ginger tea, a lot of halls, a lot of rest, and and vocal warm-ups very important. It's like being a singer, or you have to warm up this instrument. So, doing a lot of motor roads. Yeah, that was my fun singing. Awesome. Cool.
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
I was wondering, in your experience being Goku, what was your most iconic line in your opinion?
My most iconic. Say it again.
Your most iconic line that you've ever said, in your opinion.
Kamehameha.
Okay.
ha 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 ha. I'm working on the musical now. Kameha, Kameha, Kameha. Yeah. We did Dragon Ball Z 14 years ago, I believe. So it was a little while ago, so it's hard to remember a lot of the lines. But if you can remember one, I'll say it.
There's so many.
What's that?
There's so many to choose, right?
Did I say that? There's so many. Ah! There's so many. He's always yelling and then he's eating. And then, yeah.
Thank you.
Cool.
Just have the question over here, then we'll jump over. So right here.
Who was your favorite character to voice act?
I really loved Von Fennell from Vision of Escaflowne. The king of Fenalia. And watching as I recorded that show, because I was in a lot of it, they were really good stories. And then I tried to watch whatever the hell Fox did to it. And I was like, whoa. I recorded it, I don't even know what's going on. It's crazy. And then, so that was great. I love Morrow because he's such a lecherous little bastard. What else have I done? Mikami was nice. It was great to play delete, a nice evil character. It's always fun to, take out your frustrations in a sound booth rather than on your pet. That's a joke. Cool.
All right, so we question right over here.
Okay. Well, first I want to thank you for sending me that recording last night. It came out beautifully.
Awesome.
But then I also want to ask, how do you avoid getting typecast for the same kind of similar roles, and what do you do to kind of try to get your versatility out there?
Well, voice acting, as you know, is all about who you sleep with. Now, it's tough. It's funny to say being typecast, and I kind of really was for many, many years, where they're like, I want to play crazy characters. No, you're the young hero. You be the hero voice. And it's better to be typecast than not cast at all. But I made a voice demo with, I don't know if anybody's heard this, I have a whole bunch of characters playing charades. Anybody ever heard this? I gotta get this out on the internet. I need a computer animation person to put visuals to it. But yeah, I actually did a cartoon demo of me with 56 different characters playing charades. And they're all interacting and stuff. It took several hours to edit it all together. It's quite funny. So I'm gonna get it back. I'm gonna have a website put up soon that's gonna be Kirby Morrow Studios, and it's gonna have all this stuff and pictures from cons and everything else. So you might be there. I take pictures when you least expect it. Usually in the bathroom, so that's why you a lot of top of the heads and yeah. But I'm totally off topic now. What was the question again?
How do you avoid being typecast?
Avoid being typecast. You go in and you get you see what characters they're auditioning, and then you try your damnedest to sound like what they're looking for. And it's just you audition for as much as you can, and you pretty much take what they give you. So that's all the control you have over it as an actor, really.
Well, thank you very much for the question.
Right. Yeah.
Just a question right over here.
Yeah, I was just wondering, for the characters, do you make up your own voices, or do the producers tell you what type of voice they want?
A lot of the times they'll say, here's some lines from the script, and they try to find lines that show a variation in emotion so they can hear the character in different emotions. And then if they have a picture, it goes a long way. Because, if you see a big guy, you kind of want to give him a big guy voice.
All right, just a little guy. You give him that kind of voice. Because this doesn't really work for a really big guy. All right, Hugh, watch it, okay?
It could
You're going to get a clobbering.
So, understanding, and they'll go as far as actually showing how big characters are compared to other characters. We'll get kind of dimensions. It'll give you an idea of, because there's kind of an accepted audio response from certain types of people or characters or talking cars or whatever it is. You know, if we want them to be goofy, you know, we get them kind of goofy voices, and you know, or if they want to be evil, evil characters tend to talk low and slow, and they spell out everything they're doing slowly. Yes. Now I'm going to go into a monologue and describe how I will get you. So, and sometimes they'll give references. They'll say, oh, you know, we're thinking like we might want, you know, kind of like an Owen Wilson voice mixed with Gilbert Gottfried. What? Oh, my God. No, really, dude. It's like, oh, what a surprise. So they'll give celebrity references a lot, or they'll say, oh, we like this one cartoon, we like this character from this cartoon, like the kid from Adventure Time, but don't sound like the kid from Adventure Time. Okay.
We want exactly this, just completely different.
Yes. I've heard this in the studio where an Asian client said to one of the voice actors, Scott McNeil, said, I thought the essence of your character is like the color blue. So give me color blue, not sad, but blue. And Scott was like, blue? Okay. So, you know, you just kind of, you make a choice, and they'll say, oh, you know what, we might want it younger, bigger. And then the first rule to being a voice actor is make a choice and commit to it. It's you can't waver on, if you're gonna place a voice here, and then this is the way you go in and you do the voice of the whole thing. And they'll say, you know what, we want him younger and not as gruff. So then you would kind of adjust accordingly, because the second rule of voice work is be flexible. You can't be married to, because in the beginning it was hard to, when you think, no, like, I've been practicing for 2 days, this is what this character should sound like. And they're like, no, actually now he's Southern and a whole lot bigger. What? Come on. They will change stuff a lot, and they'll say, actually, this character is now a guy, so do you want to read for that one? Like, okay, yeah. So it's always good to read all the characters and get a sense of it before you audition for a show.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool.
So, question right over here.
Hi, I actually got 2 questions. The first one is, did you ever watch any of the shows that you voice acted for?
Did you ever watch any of your shows? I have watched them. Yeah, why does it sound like I haven't? It's like,
I don't know.
he's just making this stuff up. He doesn't even know.
You have no idea how many voice actors actually don't.
It's, yeah, I mean, I don't think I actually, you know, set, and I'm going to date myself here, I never set the VCR to record my shows. It's a PVR now, I know. But, you know, if they were on, I would watch them. And I remember one time I went into a party in Los Angeles, and this was an LA happening party. All these fancy pants people are there, and I walked into this one room, and there's a bunch of people sitting in a living room, and they're playing Escaflowne on the TV. And my character goes, Hitomi, please don't leave me. And I go, Hitomi, please don't leave me. And this one guy goes, nice try, dude. And I'm like, no, that's actually me. I play the, and they're like, shut up. And I had to show them my ID, and they're like, Canada, where's that? But then, yeah, they were like, oh my God, it's the guy. And I'm like, I'm at an LA party, and you guys are watching anime. That's kind of cool.
This is the world we live in now.
I know. It's crazy. Cool.
Okay, and my second question is, it's a little bit silly, but have you ever imagined of what would happen if all the characters that you voice acted met together, like Goku or Morrow?
They do in my mind every day. It's craziness. Yeah, I mean, you start to think, you're like, okay, if Goku and Cyclops had a fight, who would win? Goku. You know, Cyclops has some moves. Well, he doesn't, yeah, not really. Oh, yeah, see? Everybody's got a weakness. Achilles heel. I think the Barbie and the Nutcracker would throw a smackdown that nobody realizes. But yeah, I think it would be funny to try and put them all into one thing. You'd never get the rights for it. Cool, thanks.
So I have a quick question for you. You've done actually quite a few of large named characters. I mean, you've done Anakin, Human Torch, Michelangelo. Were there any characters, or are there any characters you think are too big for you to try, or like especially characters that were famous before, you know, like
I was very nervous about taking over Goku because it was such a big, like when they said Peter Klamas couldn't reprise the role, and they wanted me to come in and read for it. And I was like, oh, what if I mess it up? The fans are going to get me. They're going to know. what if I don't do it justice? And then I was actually really nervous going into that audition. And I'm like, it's just a cartoon. It's just a cartoon. But it's the cartoon. It's the biggest cartoon. They'll find me. And I wound up getting the part, and I had really great responses from the fans. So thank you for that. I love you guys so much.
So just a question right here.
Actually, I think it was him over there.
All right. Go over here.
Stargate question. Seeing as you've had the opportunity to work on all 3 series,
yes.
The first 2 were a good mixture of serious and funny, and I always got the sense of the first 2 shows kind of like tongue-in-cheek. They're like winking at the camera going, yes, we know we're on a TV show, but this is pretty friggin' awesome. We're having a good time. Then you get into...
You're talking about the first 2 episodes I did in SG-1?
Well, I'm talking about the 2 series in general, right? The whole feeling of the 2, of Stargate and Stargate Atlantis were very much fun, serious, tongue-in-cheek, wink-wink kind of thing. Then we get into Universe, and that strayed from the formula, and it only lasted 2 seasons. And you had an opportunity to work on Universe. What was your feeling, having worked on all 3, and then getting into Universe when the direction went different, the feeling went different?
And it's funny because I watched both SG-1 and Atlantis, but I'd never seen Universe. And when they called and said, your character is going to come back in the SS Hammond with Amanda Tapping as the colonel, commander, captain, whatever. I think I was captain, but yeah. And you're going to come back in. And I hadn't seen the show yet, so I didn't know what the feel was of it. But did it got canceled?
2 seasons it was done.
Yeah. I heard it wasn't doing very well.
No.
And they only had me in for 1 episode, so mistake number 1, guys.
There you go.
God. Yeah, I don't want to say I'm the reason you got canceled. That's what I told my parents. No. So, I mean, the Stargates it's a great entity to have worked on and been a part of, and really great people throughout the whole cast and crew. And I didn't even realize that, I put on IMDb one day and I was going to look up an actor, and it says, did you know there are only 24 actors that have been in all 3 Stargate series? And it had all the leads, Amanda Tapping, Chris Judge, and Rick, and my picture was there. And I was like, oh, wow. And I know 6 of those 24 were actually stunt guys. So there's actually only 18 actors that have been in all 3 series. I'm like, oh, that's kind of a nice list, and probably the one and only time I'll be on the front page of IMDb. Unless they do something real big soon. But yeah, that was kind of cool.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, over here.
Hi. First of all, I want to say I really love your work. I really love Mikami and Moroku. And I wanted to know if there was any character, be it for voice acting or for live action, that you found particularly annoying or challenging to play, and if there was also a character that you just really didn't like playing.
I got asked this question yesterday, and it's no, because I'm working. So I love the fact that I'm working and doing something. There's great things about every character, and there's a challenge. And that's a challenge as an actor, is to try to embody the character, whether you're on camera or on the stage or doing animation. It's fabulous to play this myriad of different entities, different people, or inanimate objects, as it can go in the animation world, and animals. And I love having that diversity and being able to play so many different things. And I just, I love what I do. And I'm really, really glad I didn't become a lawyer. Really, really glad.
We are too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Court would have been very different with the voices.
Yeah.
Like, I object. Oh, you can't handle the truth.
No.
Got your question right here.
Hey, Kirby.
Hey.
Well, first off, I just want to say thank you for the personalized autograph you gave me the other day. That was really bitchin'. Thank you.
Sweet. Sweet.
I have two questions. First question, what is it, well, let me rephrase this. I just got up with this in like the last 5 minutes. What is it about Goku that kind of drew you to the character? Like, what's your favorite part of playing Goku, besides the screaming?
Yeah, because he was a family man and he loved to eat. Like, I love to eat. But he was just such a nice guy, right? And it was kind of, a lot of people come up and tell me how, they grew up with Dragon Ball Z and it kind of gave them a good moral code, in a sense, to be a good person. And yeah, sometimes you might have to fight, even, and not physically fight, but you're going to reach challenges in your life, and you're going to have to stand up for yourself and fight through those challenges. But in the end, it kind of teaches you to be a good person, and I really like that about the show.
Cool. The other question I had, did you ever meet or even just kind of cross paths with either the Japanese or the American voice actor for Goku?
Yeah, I actually haven't met. I know Ian Corlett, who was the first Goku, and then he decided he didn't want to do anime anymore. Anime is a lot harder to do than prelay animation, and it pays a lot less. So Ian was kind of like, yeah, I think I'm done. And Peter got busy, but I've worked with both of them a lot. And then Sean Schemmel, who's from Funimation, I've never met, but I was in Texas and I was going to Comic-Con in Waco, and I tweeted like, hey, Kirby Morrow, voice of, and I said, Goku Moroku, and he goes, it's going to be in Waco, come see me. And Sean Schemmel wrote back, you're not Goku, I'm Goku. And I'm like, and I didn't respond, but I wanted to write back, hey, Schemmel, I hear Michael Keaton claims he was Batman. Maybe you should get on his ass. Like, I was like, so I just thought that was kind of funny. But Goku.
Now I'm just picturing a full-on war between Goku and Goku.
Yeah. Oh, I'd take him.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for being here.
Nice.
Yeah. So question. As a kid, obviously, I watched a lot of Dragon Ball Z. As an adult, I've watched a lot of Dragon Ball Z Abridged because it's amazing. And I was kind of wondering what your thoughts are on that series, if you've seen it, because the voice acting is what makes that series.
I hear a lot about it. I haven't seen it. Actually, I've seen clips. People have sent me stuff.
Oh my God, watch it.
What did you say?
Watch it.
Watch it. I know, it's like telling me to start doing drugs. I can't stop now.
This girl at a con told me to start.
Yeah, exactly. So I haven't seen a lot of it, but I mean, it's obviously something that a lot of people are getting a lot of joy out of. And if that stems from something that I was once part of, then I'm all for it.
Excellent.
Cool.
Can I ask you a second silly question?
Yes.
If you could be any member of the Ginyu Force, who would you voice act?
Of the which?
The Ginyu Force.
What is that?
Of the Ginyu Force from the Namek saga.
Ouch. Go sit down now.
You're not Goku anymore. I've been stripped of my Goku-ness. I can't even picture who that is.
It was like the team of 5 that attacked him.
Which one? Ginyu.
All right, so we got our next question right here.
Okay, sort of on the other end of the spectrum from roles you've already done, are there roles you've turned down or wanted to do that you didn't get to do?
I really wanted to be Wolverine. It was just cool. But, they went with Scott McNeil, who's got that smoky voice. But, it's once again, it was me trying to play a character and getting cast as the young leader guy. And it's really funny because when I was 18 years old, I got a job at Zeller's in the box room. And the rule was if the phone rang more than 3 times, one of the guys in the box room had to answer it and then page on the intercom system who the phone was for. And so I took a phone and the call was for my boss, Mr. Price. And I hit the intercom. I was like, Mr. Price line, was that my voice? Do I sound like that? What? I was so embarrassed by what my voice sounded like, because it's the first time I'd really heard it in any capacity outside of just talking, that after that, for 6 months, I never used the intercom again. I would run through the whole store trying to find who the phone was for. And then so I always thought I had this terrible, high, nasally kind of voice, and I didn't like it. And then I started getting cast as the hero and the leader all the time. And even after doing it for 20 years, I was getting ready for an on-camera audition. And I was kind of practicing in front of the mirror, and I'm like, my voice sounds geeky. It's too geeky. I'm like, no, you play heroes. Don't beat yourself up. So you got to give yourself the little pep talk every once in a while. But there's, roles I wanted, everyone I auditioned for and didn't get. Really wanted all of those. Yeah. So, thanks.
Question right over here.
So for the first time that you ever worked with voiceovers in anime, what was that experience like for you?
What was it like working in anime the first time?
Yeah.
Interesting, because I'd only seen Akira. Yeah, it was like one of the original animes that came out when I was a kid. And I didn't really understand that this is actually kind of funny. Friends of mine who were really into cameras and audio-visual equipment, when we were kids, they had taped a show of Spider-Man. And we went downstairs in my basement with microphones, and we revoiced the whole show. And every time he'd run, it'd be like, and he'd land on the wall. And we'd give them funny voices and said, stupid, dirty things that teenage boys say. And we thought that was so funny. And then the first time I did Gundam Wing, I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing what I did when I was a teenager. I'm filling in the, you're looking at your line and you're trying to look at the mouth, and it's a little difficult at first because you have to look at your line quickly, memorize it, and then wait for the beeps to happen in your headphones to go beep, 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 and where that phantom fourth beep would be, you start talking. And you have to watch the facial expressions and what they're doing and to act accordingly as they're moving, and to make it believable and good. And you've got to fit the mouth flaps now. They were a little more stringent on that now. Before it used to be, like the old movies. So, how are you? And they didn't really care much about, how good the ADR was, and they do much more now. So.
So did you enjoy playing Troa in that anime?
I thought it was awesome until they blew him into space for umpteen million episodes, and I'm like, well, come on, where'd he go? And then he disappeared for like 17 episodes or something, but they brought him back. So,
thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Question right over here.
What was it like being able to work on Death Note?
Death Note was awesome because it was so much fun to play an evil character, which is going back to the earlier thing, me trying to branch out from being the hero. Who's the hero in Death Note? What? What?
The book?
The book. The book? The book? Is Brad Swale in Death Note? Yes? So I probably would have gotten that role if I had, not over Brad, but it's just kind of that's the kind of role. Brad's voice is he's more endearing than I am. He's just so sweet. He's cute. He's a good kisser. No. Brad's gonna beat me up. So yeah, I love being like the evil guy, and he had one of the most gruesome deaths. Mikami, when he's an iron bar went through his neck or something. You guys remember this? I remember being like, I was having so much fun in the booth that day. It's like,
I got a question. So when you're doing a stab in the next scene, does the director's like, no, I'm sorry, that sounds like you just got stabbed in the gut, let's do it again?
Exactly, yeah. They'll say, you know what, we need a little more gurgle. Can you get a gurgle in there? Like, it can't be, it's getting, Yeah, I like doing that stuff. Nice. Ooh, the countdown has started. 10, 9. I'm going to take off.
So we got a question over here.
What's your favorite anime that you've seen?
Favorite anime that I've seen? Well, everyone that I'm in.
Saw that answer coming.
I liked Escaflowne. Yeah. It was really, it was one of my favorites. I like Inuyasha as well. It's very funny. I'll watch an episode and I'm like, I did what? I don't even remember. I don't remember this episode. I don't remember recording this. God, I'm a pervert. Holy cow. Wow. Never showing any girl I want to date this show. Yeah.
Thanks.
Go.
So we got a question right here.
You mentioned Scott McNeil earlier, and he's kind of known for basically playing half of Beast Wars and arguing with himself half the time.
He's like that in real life too. You should see him. You should see him in a cafeteria. No fries, and you will eat this.
Have you ever gotten the opportunity to do something like that, or like play two roles that are basically talking to each other?
Yeah. In Ninjago, I play 14-year-old Cole, and I also play Cole's father. And they have a lot of dialogue together. Things were a little different back in the time when Scott did Beast Wars, where there weren't that many voice actors out there yet. And they love to save as much money as possible, because if you have two voice actors doing two roles, they each get paid a certain amount. If one person does both roles, then they cut the second wage in half, and then it keeps getting cut down. So the one actor makes a lot more money, but the production saves money. So they used to do that a lot 20 years ago. Now they want more diversity, and they're a little more stringent about making sure that characters sound very different and can't be picked out like, oh, that's Scott McNeil, that's Scott again. So he had a lot more opportunity to do that in the past, but they do it now. They say, we want one actor to be able to play 2 to 4 roles in this. I'm not allowed to talk about this. There's a movie coming out with Seth Rogen, and it's animated, and I play several roles in it. That's all I can say. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. You guys never saw anything. Expect like a... They know when you mention their non-disclosure agreements are everywhere.
So we got 3 questions left, and if they're quick, we can make these the last 3. So let's
lightning round. Go.
First off, I should say I love you as Goku and Morrow.
That's correct.
But my question is actually, what was your favorite thing about voicing Picolet in Ranma 1/2?
Oh, Picolet Chardin. Yes, he was a very disturbing individual with a really long tongue. And I got to do the French accent. It was very wonderful. Thank you for remembering that character. It's he's gone but not forgotten. I actually loved it because once again it's kind of away from the wheelhouse that I play a lot. So anytime I can be diverse, I love it.
Thank you.
So thank you for asking.
All right, quickly over here.
Oh, I think he was here first.
That's correct. Next.
Do you have any stories about a director pulling a stunt to try to get a spontaneous reaction from you, like enforced method acting?
No, but there's a story that's very funny that a director one time took an empty aspirin bottle and farted in it and put the lid on it and stuck it on a heater in the studio. And then when an actor went in, it wasn't me, he said, hey, actor, what's that bottle doing on top of the little radiator, the little heater? And he's like, I don't know, it's like a pill bottle. He goes, can you just check and see if there's anything in it? And apparently opened it and went, oh God, oh. That's one of my favorite stories. Every time I see this certain actor, I'm like,
All right, so our last question right over here.
This is a really lame last question, but I was wondering if you could do the wind tunnel line of Moroku's.
Right. Wind tunnel! I always wondered why he had to yell it. It would still work. It could just be like, shh, wind tunnel, bitches. Yo, it's happening. It's coming true. Yeah. Awesome, you guys. I want to thank you so much for coming to see me. I'm going to be downstairs signing autographs. If you guys want to come and, yeah, it'll be great times. Thanks very much.
All right, everyone, let's give him a big round of applause. Big Hal-Con, thank you.
Hal-Con.